a war going on. The books can't escape from the team. Cold the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Final.
All right, from the next home of the NBA, Las Vegas, this is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Monday, March the 16th. We're going to start this show off with live here from Las Vegas, breaking news. Is reported just moments ago from Shams Charania. Las Vegas is one step closer to becoming an NBA city, already the home of world-class sports, the three major sports with Major League Baseball coming, of course. You've got the Golden Knights. You've got, hey, don't forget the Aces. You've got the Raiders. And now, according to Shams, the National Basketball Association Board of Governors will vote here in just about a week on whether to begin the formal expansion process, quote unquote, with Las Vegas and Seattle identified as two exclusive target markets. The first vote would simply allow the league to start evaluating ownership bids, but the money involved shows why momentum is building, with expansion fees expected to land somewhere between $7 and $10 billion per team, meaning the NBA could be preparing to add two franchises and push the league to 32 teams for the 28-29 season. And for Las Vegas, which already hosts the NBA Summer League and major events throughout the Las Vegas area and the Strip, it's a clear signal that the NBA's long-anticipated move is getting real. So pretty exciting out here, I'd say. I don't want to say done deal. There's really a multi-step process to this situation, but you look at Las Vegas obviously becoming the favorite, and for good reason. Money talks, and that's why pro sports has come to this town. They said they'd never come to Las Vegas. The NFL kicked guys out here for coming to Las Vegas not too long ago, but Las Vegas moving here as the favorite. They also had they hosted the in-season tournament championship here, other events as well, the All-Star game. So who will be the owner of the franchise here? Could it be someone like a LeBron James? Could it be Maverick Carter? Could it be Fenway Group? Who knows? But there's enough money, and that's what they're going to do here. So they'll have that vote on the expansion process, summer and fall of later this year. Ownership groups now submit bids, and then owners decide whether to move the expansion teams for that target date of 2028. We already got world-class facilities here, so not saying it's a done deal, but come on. And don't forget about good old Seattle, home of the old Supersonics. You got to think if Seattle comes back, they won't have trouble choosing a name. You hope they don't go another direction, but come on. I mean, the Seattle Supersonics have a tremendous history in Seattle, so hopefully it will be. You put those two teams out west, you're going to have to take one of those teams from the west and move them to the east. Likely candidates would be Minnesota, Memphis, possibly New Orleans. But Minnesota, you got look, Milwaukee's in the east, and you got Minnesota in the west, and maybe that would be it. Because you got Chicago in the east, Indiana in the east, Cleveland in the east. So you got to think it'd be Minnesota, but. well, nonetheless, great news here in Las Vegas. Could be the home of NBA basketball here in just a few seasons. It does feel like that seems almost a certainty, unless I couldn't find the money here in Las Vegas. But all right. Thanks for joining me here on the show for the Morning Steam. We're going to find some news here. That's not a story I'm just hashing. You check Shams. That is a breaking news story here within the last 10 minutes right now. So really just threw together the lead of the story. We know what the lead of the story was going to be here today, or take your pick. I don't know. I got two big stories here to get going on the Morning Steam. I guess first and foremost, what about the United States men's baseball team that have beaten the Dominican Republic 2-1 as power pitching, beat power hitting and no ABS system, no problem. You'd think that the World Baseball Classic would have been all in on ABS. I would have ran the whole tournament with ABS and said no challenges. We're just going to let the computer call the balls and strikes. In this competition, the officiating has been terrible. Here, there are major league umpires, but there's also umpires from other professional leagues as well. They've kind of worked a little bit of a ragtag group, and some of the home plate umpiring has been questionable. The first pitch of the whole tournament was right down the middle for a strike, and the guy missed it. And then the second pitch, same thing. And then the third pitch, the same thing. But nonetheless, United States wins with the home run from, he's Roman Anthony. I'm Ramon Anthony, but he's the star here with the solo home run. Gunnar Henderson home run. Aaron Judge, two big plays on defense. J-Rod robbed Aaron Judge with a home run catch, and Paul Skeens delivered 4 1/3 innings of 1 run, 5 hits, the 1 home run. Mason Miller got the save with that help. Of course, he strikes him out. That's what he does. And then the DR big bats, Tatis, Machado, Guerrero, Soto combined 3 for 16. That last pitch called the strike. Tatis would have been on deck. And, well, you know what, Manny and Fernando, they want to have the Padre fans come in and make a lot of noise, but we already do that. So why not come through in the clutch like you haven't done with the Padres? But nonetheless, I'm not going to criticize them too much. I had a good tournament there. Couldn't produce the offense, of course, when the pressure was on. Tatis was on deck when that strike 3 came down. But tonight, Venezuela and Italy Monday semifinal game. It seems like the United States just won the gold medal there with the win over the DR, but that was only the semifinal. So we've got the final tonight with Venezuela and Italy. Of course, we know Venezuela beat Japan in that other quarterfinal. So as Japan blew that lead, remember we already covered it here on the show, but we do have the game tonight, and Venezuela is a $2 favorite over Italy. I'm already on Italy 20-1 to win this whole tournament. I might hedge a little bit here. I could always use a little dough if they win this game. They're an underdog here, but I'm going to let it ride, of course, in this one. But I do like the under here. I would expect the pitching. You saw 2-1 in the U.S. game. I know it might be a little bit different here tonight with the pitching, but again, they ramped it up, and the pitching has come through. It feels like just like it does kind of in the postseason, and these are huge games. It's more huge for the fans and the players than it is for maybe just the general sports fans. But this is what baseball. This is a great tournament, and the fact that it's in the preseason like this, in the exhibition, that doesn't matter. I mean, baseball is a sport that's played year round, really, considering, a lot of players play after the major league season is over. They're down playing in the Dominican, in the, other leagues that play in the winter. So the players are going to be ready to go and ramp up here. So tonight with Venezuela and Italy, I've got Italy to win the tournament, so I'll just lay off there a little bit, but I'm going to go under tonight with my play in the semifinal here at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific from Houston tonight with the matchup at the World Baseball Classic here on Monday. All right, hope you're enjoying that tournament. I definitely think it definitely saves spring training here. It's supposed to be a 1 every 4-year tournament. A lot of people commented, hey, I didn't even know this tournament goes on a lot of the, the years or whatever. And they've had an awkward schedule because 1 year got postponed by COVID, and then they had a 6-year absence between the tournament. And then they had a 2-year absence to try to get it back on track here. So you're going to see it every 4 years right now. But there's also Olympic baseball coming too. So there'll be a big boon in that sport. The Olympics is baseball. The Olympics has already tried baseball and got rid of it, but that was more, I won't say geopolitical, but the Olympic Committee was, trying to calm down the U.S. from having all the dominant teams in sports and things like that. It didn't generate enough interest worldwide, but you got a whole, hemisphere here playing, and then you see the countries such as Italy and the Netherlands with the pretty good teams. Great Britain also big resurgence in baseball viewership and people watching Major League Baseball. So it's a great tournament, and it gets concluded here this week, and then we'll be ready for the regular season. But a nice little touch here to the week. You need to play them here before the Final Four. That's what you need to do, and they'll play tonight at the World Baseball Classic, and then Tuesday night, of course, will be the final. All right. Thanks for joining me here on the show, everybody. Thanks for everybody climbing aboard for the morning steam here. The other big story, if you haven't heard, the NCAA tournament brackets are set. Hopefully, have you already filled one out? Who do you got? Who do you got in the chat? Give me your top 4, whatever you want to put in there. Let me hear from you. We'll cover it a little bit here to give you some hints and clues as to what to expect in the NCAA tournament. 7 of the last 9 years, the number 1 seed has won the title. And in the world of NIL, it just feels like to me that the teams are top heavy here. Look, if an upset comes, that's fine. But I don't know. We might be done seeing those mid-majors find a way. Remember over the years, we've had some surprises out there sometimes, right? With the Butlers, the Florida Atlantics, even my San Diego State Aztecs. I said, if the San Diego State Aztecs don't make it, they'll probably accept a ticket to the NIT because they'll be a big favorite to win that tournament. No, San Diego State said, no, thank you. We don't play for the not-in tournament. We've been to your tournament 10 years here. We're one of the best teams in the country, and if you don't bring us here, we're not going to any not-in tournaments. So let me know about what you think of those top teams right now with Duke, Arizona. Who I think are anyway, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and Florida. I've got Florida in there right now, but man, Purdue is hot here right now. They've got to be one of the fastest risers after that win yesterday. And maybe you could take Connecticut. How about a long shot? You want a long shot? Come on. You're going to make Rick Pitino a 5 seed after winning the Big East in the regular season, winning the Big East title over Connecticut, and you've got him as a 5 seed. The committee is asleep at the wheel and has no clue as to who the best teams in the country are. They're throwing darts. They let Miami of Ohio in the tournament on a favor, basically, because they didn't want to embarrass themselves. And now Miami of Ohio is going to go out there and get embarrassed by SMU in the play-in round. Last 5 years, number 1 seeds 11-9 against the spread in the first round. Last 3 years, 2 seeds are 8-4 ATS. 2 seeds, the better team covers the spread. The wider out these top seeds go, it's number 3 seeds are 16-8 against the spread in the first round over the last 6 years. That's number 3 seeds. So the only teams to not be a number 1 seed and win a national title over the last decade or so was Villanova and Connecticut, which are still 2, by the way, Big East teams. So Texas and NC State will be one of the play-in games in the very disturbing 11 seed. And look, if you're going to put 11 seeds in there with 2, major conference teams, you might as well expand the tournament to 76 teams. There's no reason not to. You're just playing games here, leaving some in and some out, and you've got all those mega conferences, and they got to get the money. So you got to put more teams in. I'm not arguing that it's a good idea. I'm just saying you got to do it. Otherwise, you look like a fool with leaving some in and some out, and the conferences bickering that are a 10th place team didn't get into the tournament because they're better than your first place team in, one of the worst conferences in. So you got some of these small conferences like the MAC that, basically, I don't know if you look at the Ken Palm, where was the MAC? 15th, 17th, 18th, I think, right? Let me peek at it here. And then one team from the Mountain West, and the Mountain West were the 6th rated conference, okay? Mid-American Conference, 17th. And then the Mountain West Conference was 6th. And you take one team there, and you got multi-bid. You got the West Coast Conference, which was 8th in the Ken Palm rankings, and they have 3 teams in the tournament. So wake up, committee. Again, just a terrible job by the committee. I used to fawn for the committee a little bit, saying, hey, it's a tough job. Look at these great teams. And now they've got so many people who don't watch even a basketball game here, just looking at the numbers and everything. So I mentioned that Texas NC State play-in game tomorrow, November 26th. Texas beat the Wolfpack 102-97 in regulation out of the Maui Classic. Longhorns took 32 three-point shots in that game and attract me. So watch out. It might be a high-scoring game. But NC State was 2-7 in their last 9 games, and they made this play-in game. And I guess I could punch, my San Diego State team in here again. I'm just a little bit bitter because they don't want to go to the NIT. The committee also shafted the San Diego State women after a season where they won both the regular season and the conference title with only 5 losses, and they left them out of the NCAA tournament as well. So that's because the West doesn't get much respect. There's not a lot of great basketball really out West anymore. Players in California aren't even playing as much basketball anymore as the rest of the country. So Miami of Ohio did have a 31-0 regular season, lost in the first round, of course, in the MAC tournament. They got in. They're a 7.5-point dog against SMU in Wednesday's main play-in game. Speaking of Utah State, this is the first time since 2017 the Mountain West only has one team in the NCAA tournament. So LIU won the Northeast Conference. They're a 16 seed that is playing Arizona. This is the first time since 2012 the NEC champ hasn't had to play in a play-in game. So good job there by Coach Strickland. And Miami of Florida can't be real happy. They had a pretty good season. They're a number 7 seed, and they go to play in St. Louis. Who are they going to play there? Missouri. Missouri playing a home game there. BYU, of course, they have to play in the Thursday-Saturday bracket because they can't play on Sundays. So, favoritism there maybe. So all 4 number 4 seeds are double-digit favorites in their first round games. That really hasn't happened since 1994. So it just goes to show you how deep, it's haves and have-nots. I don't think I know there'll be Cinderellas. There always are. Will it be the 5-12? Will it be the 4-13? Will it be the 6-11? That's what I want to know from you. Since 2000, of course, there are times that the 15 seed beats the 2, and it happened just 3 years ago, 3 years in a row, when Princeton beat Arizona in 2023, St. Peter's beat Kentucky in 2022, and Oral Roberts beat Ohio State in 2021. So in 23 years, the number 15 seeds have just 7 wins and 85 losses. However, it just doesn't happen. So although when it does, they've gone 4-3 straight up and against the spread in the second round. So over the last 8 years, only 2 number 14 seeds have upset number 3 seeds, and that was Oakland in 2024 when they upset Kentucky, and 2021 Abilene Christian beat Texas. The last 3 years, favorites are 7-2 against the spread in the Final Four. So we'll see what happens. Get all the way here to the national championship game, and let me know who you have to win the title among those top seeds. Of course, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, Florida. Like I said, the number 2 seeds, Connecticut, Purdue, Iowa State, and Houston. And some of the best first round games, in my opinion, you've got Nebraska and Troy. That one, to me, if I'm looking at one where I can, let's find upsets, right? Let's find the teams that can win. St. Mary's and Texas A&M. How about the Gales maybe in that one? Georgia and St. Louis. Could those Billikens and Robbie Avila knock off Georgia, Villanova, and Utah State? Utah State, right, the only rep from the Mountain West. Kentucky and Santa Clara. Santa Clara got in. They played interesting in Akron and Texas Tech. Akron looks awesome as the best team in the Mid-America Conference. And the teams that were snubbed, I'll stop complaining about the Aztecs, but also New Mexico out of the Mountain West. Auburn, they got a beef, they got a gripe, but you know what? They look bad in the end, especially trying to plead their case. Oklahoma, Indiana, we already said they were on the outside looking in on the show yesterday before it came down. And on the women's side, it looks like Connecticut, it looks like UCLA, collision course maybe for the national title. I think they're in the opposite brackets. I didn't actually look, but I know that those two teams are top seeds anyway there. All right, how about some of the games yesterday? Let me say hello to the folks in the chat. Hope they're as excited as I am about the NCAA tournament here starting tomorrow. We've seen all the spreads. You've seen them too here with many of the games, including tomorrow. Howard and Maryland-Baltimore County. Maryland-Baltimore County favored by 2.5, 141. If you followed the show, if you watched those teams, that's a good game right there, Howard and Baltimore County. Also, the NC State-Texas game is a pick'em, 160. And then Wednesday's play-ins, Lehigh and surprising Prairie View. Both those, actually, but Lehigh looked pretty good. They're 2.5-point favorite, 143. And then SMU, 7.5 and 164. Tell me your favorite matchups from the rest of the rounds there as well. We see some movement here in some games already. There has been a few games that actually have gotten steamed here a little bit in the tournament, including Long Island and Arizona here. Arizona got steamed from 29.5 or 30 up to 31.5. They took some steam already, and also Hawaii and Arkansas over went from 160 to 161. Just a subtle move there. Might have been 159.5. So, all right, who's here? Ready to go today? Cash Kane here. Steve Leftarian's ready to go. Nick Handy, JP Farley here. He's got some props for this game tonight. And like I said, I'm going to go with the under. Look, he's already kind of pinning Michael Lorenzen here for some action. And Andrew K said last seed, all 4 seeds, number 1, right? Look, if you can pick the upset and it happens and you got it, and it's all the glory. But like I said, do you really think out of those 4 teams, it feels like those 4 teams and everybody else when it comes to the top 4 with Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and Florida. Like I said, I love what Purdue is doing there, and St. John's is going to be my sleeper. Josh, hello to Josh there. Thank you. Orlando, Lakers, and WBC talking about the World Baseball game there. And LALB likes Italy. Bobby Mack is here as well. West Up Parlay is in town. Lakers Moneyline and Clippers tonight. Italy and the under. Going with Italy. Thank you, West Up Parlay. Andrew K notes that Florida and Michigan have easy roads. St. John's, they could lose the first game. That's a great point. It is going to be a tough first round game that they've given St. John, but you know what? They beat Connecticut handily here, and you know what? Patino, when he waves the nobody is giving you guys a chance card, that's where you want him usually. AOD said it was rigged there, right? Why don't we have ABS in the World Baseball Classic? I have a feeling it has to do with, I don't want to say that this tournament is a ragtag tournament. I mean, you have, one bracket's being played in across the country, and then you have players from all sorts of countries, obviously, although, like we said, talk about Italy and all their major leaguers and Canadians and Americans playing, but you have to measure everybody too. Maybe they just said, hey, we don't need to go that far. I think they should have went even further and said, hey, why don't we experiment with all the calls being, just let the umpires just chill back there and make all the calls electronically and see how that goes. Let's experiment with that. Let's take it to the next step. because we all think that's what, I mean, I'm watching some cricket over here right now. And, if anybody's ever watched a cricket match, I mean, it's laughable that the United States has always been slow to use technology and officiating. I mean, cricket, they got like the hot state, like it's a heat lamp. They show it like ultra red heat, whether or not it touches the wicket or it hits the bat. So, that's the way they do it in there, and it seems to work. Everybody believes it, right? Even when you get your leg in front of the stump, they have it analyzed whether or not it would have hit the wickets if your leg wasn't there. How do they do that, right? There's only one way. Think of tennis and the Hawkeye, and that's really what the NFL is using for first down technology and things like that. So why wouldn't you have ABS in the World Baseball Classic? If anything, you'd think you'd want it in that even more. Kansas and Kentucky for LALB. Can those teams kind of get it going here again? We know they're blue bloods, and you always think, and although I'm worried about Kansas, the more Peterson plays, the worse they look. Well, I liked it better when Peterson wasn't playing. Get him out of there. Santa Clara, how about the Howard Bison there? Shout out my guy Jim Trotter. Anybody remember Jim Trotter, the NFL writer? Me and Jim Trotter used to talk about when our bets we would make in Tijuana back when we were covering high school football together. He went on to NFL reporting glory and was actually kind of ostracized by the NFL for pushing the race card too hard with Goodell, and they kind of eased him out there. And I'm here with you guys, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Andrew Houston could be playing Florida there, AOD, Arkansas, St. John's, some good dark horses. I'm going, I'm going with St. John's. I'm riding with Coach. Hey, everyone, like Nuke doesn't get to say how many basketball games there were today. Everyone, like this video and subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. Might be my last show, but we're going to make it a fun one here with our coverage today. Kind of a short show. Probably should get started because of, hey, what do we got? We've got 8 basketball games. We got 5 hockey games, and that's what we got. We've already picked the baseball here. There's some, we got Monday fixtures. We got Monday Night Football across the pond here a little bit today with some of the leagues there anyway, including Wolves and Brentford today, Fiorentina and Cremonese, Levant and Vallecano, action from Italy, Spain, and England there today, Monday Night Football. LALB, Dominican Republic. Hey, got to be honest with you, LALB, I thought that run line was pretty good at minus $1.40 or so there yesterday. I took Dominican Republic, but I played them on the run line there and got home. Let's see here, Public Enemy and Robert McCormick, BCU. How about BCU? Look, man, you got to like it. Here's the thing about BCU, Coach Martelli's son, coaching that team. He looks extremely confident there. And the only one I kind of dreaded here, and I'll cover the games in just a moment from today. I'll make another joke here in a second, but LALB likes Duke in there. And this is what I think, Robert, the 11 seed, they got to do away with that, but they're not going to. That's where they're going to end up expanding a little bit. But why aren't the play-in games amongst those worst teams? You're already complaining about, these are the worst teams. The auto bid. Let them all slug it out, right? They're not going to go far anyways. Let them have the spotlight. We don't want to see Texas and, North Carolina State on a Tuesday night. We want to watch Lehigh and Long Island play each other. That's what I want. They're not going to win the national championship. Let them win another game against each other and play a few like that. Let those teams bang it out. Let the 16s and 15s bang it out or something and get more Cinderellas in there. I want the reason we're expanding is because of the conferences, so we're going to get more big teams in there. Robert, you're right. Jeez. Okay, and they're more fun to watch. I thought some of the best games were in some of the lower level conference championship games, including that Ivy League. We give the Ivy League a little bit of respect, but that was a wild game today, and I'm going to talk about it here. But let's see here, Biocano on the money line there, a little bit of soccer. So, all right, review the action here from Sunday, and that Ivy League final was absolutely terrific, wasn't it? With Penn and Yale. Look, that was the one game I didn't win here, I think, on Sunday. I had the under in that one, but it didn't matter. I mean, the game was just wild there with Penn and Yale there. You saw them, win it there, and then the guy almost threw it in from all the way across the court there. What a game, though. The only thing is, I ended up betting on Penn privately. Didn't put out a play or anything, but I end up betting on Penn. I'm like every time I try to push the button, I think of how much I dislike Fran McCaffrey, but you know what? Maybe as the Penn coach, he's actually likable. The Yale story is wild. The great thing about that game, a great story, if you guys are watching the game there, right? You have playing for Penn is Yale's coach, his brother. The Yale coach's brother is the coach at BU. They're both great coaches. This coach at Yale's done an incredible job in his career there. I don't know how many years he's been there, 14 or 15 years. Coach Davis and his brother's Coach Davis, right? Let me make sure I got that right. Coach Jones, James Jones, his son Jay, brother Joe is at Boston U. Okay, that's right. And so you have Coach Jones of Yale. His brother is a coach at BU, and his brother's son, basically his nephew, is a player at Penn. So you had, coach. The BU coach in the stands. His brother is the coach of Penn, but his son plays for Yale. I mean, I know he's going to root for his son's team, but wasn't that a great story there in that game? There in the Ivy League, and they obviously, he's not going to be. He's has to go to his own games at BU, so he doesn't get to see it when they play in the regular season or anything. Maybe he did. I'm sure he did once or twice in the 2 times. I don't know. Depends on when they played, but that was interesting. And close game though. Penn made it very, very close there, obviously, and just a great game there yesterday with Penn and Yale, as Penn won it in overtime, 88-84. Yale and Penn made it overtime, and then Yale almost threw it the length of the court, hit the back iron, went to overtime, and Penn got the win with a nice job there over Yale. Also, Atlantic 10 championship, and we had the BCU Rams here, talking about BCU here on the Morning Steam. Yeah, we had BCU in that one to get the win there yesterday, 70-62 over Dayton behind Lewis. 17 points in that one. SEC, yeah, we were on Arkansas. I mean, look, I like Arkansas too. I like Arkansas. I like St. John's. I like the fact that Arkansas has the hottest scorer. It feels like, except for the kid from Penn that scored. What did he score? Almost 50 points there in that game. TJ Power, 44 points in that game. Incredible, but with Darius Acuff and complement of scores, just every position, the rebounding. Look, Vanderbilt's been playing great, and Arkansas really looked good. Right there. So really, really sharp there for Arkansas. And I kind of like what I see from Arkansas. They got the win there over Vanderbilt. American Conference Final. We had the winner here on the morning. I went with Wichita there. I know Mikey had South Florida, so good job there by Mikey. They win it. They crushed them there, 70-55 there in that one. I did have the winner over on the Cover the Spread show. Make sure you're following me over here on YouTube on Cover the Spread, another show that I hosts here on YouTube. It's not one without an audience. If you want to see me just talk without interacting with the audience, go follow me over at Cover the Spread. I'm the new host over there for that show, and I picked a pretty good day there, 4-1 yesterday, so make sure you're following that video there. But anyway, great job there by South Florida, winning at 70-55 behind Nelson. Their team effort for sure from South Florida to win. And then the Big Ten here with we had the under here on the Morning Steam. I did have the Purdue Boilermakers there on that Cover the Spread show, and they got it done. Great job by Purdue, and of course Braden Smith. Another reason to like Purdue, one of the best players in the country for sure, Braden Smith. And you got that guard, you got what you really need. It's almost a secret to have. Make sure you got one of the best guards in the country if you want to win the national championship. And Purdue has that for sure, as they won the Big Ten final right over Michigan. So Michigan gets that top seed. You're looking for some teams down below. Purdue beat Michigan. They beat them pretty good too there in that game, I thought, yesterday. So maybe that's one team to also keep an eye on there. Okay. Great job there on the season for everybody. All the games that we previewed. We're not done, obviously, with the games to come, but thank you to everyone who participated this season in college basketball predictions here. I mean, you look at we've been here since the beginning of the season, and we did minimum, 5 games a night. Maybe there are a couple in there. We had 3 games or something, but think of all the teams that we covered here, and you guys are prepared going in with your 14s, 15s, and 16s, because we previewed them here with you guys every day, unlike the other shows where they can't even pronounce the names of the teams that made the tournament. All right. Also yesterday, NBA here on the morning steam, we had the Milwaukee Bucks as a winner here on the show over the Indiana Pacers, getting it done there. Also, we had the Dallas Mavericks to cover the spread because, I thought they could easily cover 17 points. I didn't know they were going to win by 10 points over the Cleveland Cavaliers. We had them yesterday. We had the Sixers plus the points as well over the Trailblazers, a winner here on the morning steam show. So a couple winners there anyway on the show, and some NHL here this year. This Sunday, we had some winners here on the morning steam, but man, my hockey continues. I just struggle a little bit. We did have the Anaheim Ducks there over Montreal. They got it done here. Also, Seattle as a dog, so that's okay, but just 2 winners yesterday. Get rid of that sheet. All right. And let's see. Terrell says there were no teams that got screwed here, although I saw some them interviewing some coaches that got left out there at the end. And even though I am barking about San Diego State, I do follow the metrics, and I don't think that they deserved. And I said all year I don't think that they were going to make it. And but when I see a couple teams that in there that I know that the Aztecs can beat there, I know they can beat Santa Clara. All right. And JD's here, says, look after myself. Hope I'm doing good here. Let me know if I'm, you guys got to let me know if I'm looking like I'm having a stroke on the air or something. Or maybe I do anyways. Robert here, Oilers. All right, Duke could be playing St. John's in D.C. How about that? And let me know, did everyone, if you already filled out a bracket? Some people here, one thing I always like to do, fill out a bracket without just, just like I told you, we looked at the thing, looked at the teams, first look, right? No stats, no against the spread, no instinct. Do your first bracket on instinct, then go back and do the bracket again after you kind of study it a little bit, and then compare the two, and then see what you think there, especially when the ones you kind of disagree on, with your instinct, and maybe the stats say one way, and then enter them both. All right, who's getting in some contests, some bracket March Madness there? Warren Buffett will probably offer up $1 million, but you know what? The odds aren't really that good. Warren's got the best of the deal. Okay, that's going to do it here, I think, for the previews here. A little bit more sports, though, I do want to talk about here from yesterday. How about the golf? Hey, I had a couple guys kind of show up here with my golf plays here this week. In fact, one of them was Matthew Fitzpatrick, who cashed some bets for me for sure there at 41-1. Finishing in second place, he bogeyed 18, lost his chance for the playoff. Ludwig Berg choked, and the winner was Cam Young. 5 birdies. The rest of the field falters, and Young gets it done. Ludwig Berg, 3 bogeys and a double, looking like he had, having a little shyness there, winning on the PGA Tour. Xander Schauffele, 11 under. Brooks Koepka finished 6 under. Scotty Scheffler was 5 under. McIlroy battling those back problems. It was a even par. I did have the 4th place finisher in Robert McIntyre there, 58-1. So I cashed bets with him. Also broke even with Henley on some bets. I had him on my list this week at 30-1. Did finish 13th, and I did find a profit with Sam Burns at 100-1. He finished 13th. Cashed a couple of picks with him in there as well, but 3 of my guys missed the cut. So did finish a little bit of profit there for my bets here. They weren't public bets, but you can get my picks each week for free when you subscribe over at winnable.com/Ramon. This is how you can get more sports betting information from me, mostly picks, right? Picks, NASCAR. I tried NASCAR today, got swept 0-5 with props, though. I was playing between plus 225 and plus 750. I couldn't get my guys home there, but what a story there in NASCAR today. Let me promo my picks though here. You can go to winnable.com/Ramon and get more information from me. You can click the QR code right there if you want to do it easy. Clicking that QR code will take you right to my Winnable page, and you can sign up for free for some picks. Usually I send out 1, 2, 3 free picks a day with this service right here, and then you can get the subscription for $19.95, $17.10 when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. Save 20%. This is how you support me here on the channel. Mikey said he's going to pay me some hot dogs. I doubt if that's going to go down now, but I'm still here, and if you want to see me here on the channel, you might want to subscribe. We do have contingency plans if I get booted off of here. Stand by. But you can subscribe to me over at winnable.com/Ramon. Use the promo code STEAM. I'll trying to hook up a Discord here, trying to figure out how to invite all the subscribers in there. I'm having trouble doing that because I'm not very technologically inclined. I can't even do AI hardly, right? I mean, I try to tell him to give me some AI picks, and it gives me a bunch of funny responses. So, all right. I just want to hit on this so real quick with those NASCAR picks. I got beat. I got swept out of there. But did want to mention, great job here. Was in Las Vegas. Denny Hamlin should know. I mean, he owns this track. Basically, 10 wins there as he wins again. Survived a speeding penalty in the pits. Takes the lead on lap 219. Holds off Chase Elliott, William Byron. None of my guys were there. My guy, I think, finished 4th. There, but wins on late restart to get the victory there. A great story, I mean, not a great story, a sad story, but a nice that he was able to win. Of course, his family was involved in that tragic fire that killed his father and injured his mother there, and he gets the win in Las Vegas. Their IndyCar. At Arlington, Kyle Kirkwood, fastest laps, fastest car, 9-second pit stop, didn't cost him. He passed Alex Palou late, held off a late restart for that win in IndyCar. I think we talked about the win there for Antonelli in F1. Indian Wells, great finals here this week. Alcaraz upset by Medvedev in the semifinals, and then Yannick Sinner outslugged Medvedev 7-6, 7-6. In that match, I did send out a premium pick on Medvedev plus 4 games there. We cashed with that one. I think that was in the free picks there yesterday. But again, just subscribe to me. I think one thing about when you get the picks from me, you get other sports. That's what I specialize in. I sent out the winner there, Medvedev plus the games over Yannick Sinner, but Sinner gets the win. And Arina Sabalenka comes from behind to win a 3-set battle with Rybakina. I knew Rybakina was going to be tough in there. Couldn't send anything out in that one, but a great match there in a 3-set battle as Sabalenka overcame that first set and won the next 2 sets there. All right. Think that will at least do it. I know we want to get to these previews, but with only 9 games today or whatever we got, man, what are we going to do? Let's get to it. All right. Soccer matches here. Was there a sports money bet? Was there a sports money? I forget about that, Robert. How did we run that there? Greg on Arkansas. That was a tough one to, you had to go with it though, right? And the Vanderbilt was looking so good. Penn and the over for Greg in there. Greg had USF. All right, let's go to the NBA tonight. We've got 8 games here to look at. We'll look at even the crummy ones tonight because we're desperate for sports betting here on a Monday. The feature, of course, probably the baseball, but got some good games here with Golden State Warriors. I said we got some good games here, but we'll start with this one. Oh, we got some steam coming in right now in the NCAA tournament. Right now. So let's get these in here real quick. These are games in the NCAA tournament that the line service is sending out right now here. The lines here, actually. So let me take a peek at these here real quick because we're getting some movement here in these games right now. Santa Clara is taking steam right now. They were plus 4.5 here in their matchup. Santa Clara is taking some steam here right now in their matchup against Kentucky. They were getting 4.5. It's down to 3.5. It opened 3, went all the way up to 4.5. So they're coming back on Santa Clara. We just mentioned where are we looking at the upsets here? Is it going to be? Could it be a team like Santa Clara? They're taking the steam against Kentucky. And favorite, Lehigh here. We just mentioned this game, right? We're in the play-in tournament here against Prairie View. Lehigh was a 2.5-point favorite, but look at now. Lehigh's 3.5 right now here against Prairie View. They are taking some steam as we speak here right now with Lehigh. All right, now I think we're just about ready, aren't we? All right, this is the matchup here with the Warriors taking on the Wizards here. Total 7.5 and 232 or so, maybe 231.5 in a lot of books right now. But you'd think these are two teams that aren't going to the playoffs. We know the Wizards aren't. And the way the Warriors are playing, you'd be like, well, they're not going to the playoffs either with the way they're playing right now. But, well, actually they are. They're probably going to be in here waiting the return. Hopefully Curry will be ready to go. You know, this seems almost more major than it is, but it also could be that the Warriors are kind of resigned here. Look, they could have gotten into 8th place. They still can. But they're in 9th place. They're only a half a game ahead of the Blazers. They're on the road here, favored by 7.5 against this Wizards team that, you know what? We picked on them for so long. They've actually gathered themselves a little bit and actually have covered a few games despite a massive losing streak here. They've covered 2 in a row against Orlando and Boston. Remember, they were down. They were getting 20 against Boston. They were losing by more than 20. Kind of fought back. Boston was goofing around there a little bit, it seemed like, and Washington came back to get the cover in that one. They've actually covered 2 straight. These two teams can't cover. They're just awful. Golden State, 19-24 against the spread as a favorite, 15-18 against the spread on the road. This is not their role, that's for sure. They're just 6-12 against the spread in their last 18. They've lost 5 straight. Now they have covered 5 of their last 6 against the lowly Wizards, who have lost 11 games in a row. Yeah, but they've covered 2 straight. Like I said, that might be the story of this one. Warriors did cover against the Knicks there. I should mention they're on the back-to-back. They were at New York yesterday, fought hard, losing by 3 as 14.5-point dogs, but they're on the back-to-back. Washington here is not. They played 2 nights ago in that game against Boston. So could be a little bit of that too, it feels like here. And you know I'm not very fond of taking the tankathon teams, but the Warriors look like a tankathon team. They look like a team that is not ready for the postseason. And again, I'll stress it again. I'll say it every show. The 9-10 never makes it. The 8 always makes it. The 9-10 never makes it. The percentages prove out on that. And steam here right now, man, it feels like a regular old college basketball day. Kennesaw State and Gonzaga. We're seeing steam right now to the under in this game with Kennesaw and Gonzaga. It was 155.5. We already know that Gonzaga is a big-time under team, far belying their reputation of the good old days, right? In fact, I think Gonzaga is a joke this year. This is one of the I follow Gonzaga basketball. Watch out. you watch out for Kennesaw here. 20-point dogs, but the steam is coming in actually on the under here. It's already gone from as high as 157.5 on the openers here. In fact, Bovada opened at 158.5. We're down to 154.5 right now at Circa. This one's going under too. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to be on the under. I don't know if I officially am. We got more coming in right now. So steam on the under there. Cal Baptist and Kansas. Steam to the over right now on Monday. Here, game 6, 767, 768. Right now, Cal Baptist in Kansas. This one's getting steamed to the over. It opened 135.5. We're up to 139 with Cal Baptist in Kansas. So Cal Baptist has they have the best scoring player in mid majors, right? They're a great player in there. Very high scoring. What is he? 23 points per game there. So. Note the move there in that one with Kansas here and Cal Baptist in that one. The steam coming in on the over right now. That one is in also Friday in San Diego, by the way. So look, there's no doubt that KU fans will make the trip, but Cal Baptist they don't have a big following, I would say, but they're going to be there in this game. Cal Baptist is going to have some fans there at Viejas Arena on Friday, I feel like, for sure, in that game there on Friday. So that steam coming in there on the over. Wow, there in that one. All right, I was looking at the stats here. The Cal Baptist superstar Dominic Daniels here. Man, he's had some nice games here, too, of late. 41 points against Utah Tech, 32 against Southern Utah here, just within two of the last 3 games he's poured in. Here in the last 3 games, he has 90. What does he have? 98 points in the last 3 games. Dominic Daniels of Cal Baptist. He also had a 47-point game earlier this season, so you can see the steam coming in there on the over. All right. Anyway, back to the NBA. We should just we should preview the college games today. What do you think here, gang? I guess I'm on the Warriors. I guess that was pretty obvious. I'm going to take the points. I mean, please. The Wizards. I'm on the Wizards plus the points here. There after giving out those trends and everything. Washington, by the way, not great, right? 26-35 against the spread as an underdog, but they are 16-17 against the spread at home. These two teams, definitely trend over. So look, Warriors, 29-14 of the over as a favorite. So you got a team here, basically 2/3 of their games as a favorite. They do go over. And Washington's an over team for the most part. 6 of the last 8 meetings have gone over. Washington's gone over in 6 of 8, and Golden State's gone over in 10 of 14. Let me finally go to the chat here and get your opinions and information for this one. And yeah, we do need to cover the injury count a little bit in this game with Steph out. We did have just some news here breaking in this one, actually, on the injury front today. Just came in on Leaky Black. He is out of this game for Washington here. Also, Sarr, we know he's been out right now for a few. He's going to be out. Keyshawn George is out, but the Leaky Black injury there, he is out for Washington. Seth Curry, he's out again, and Big Al's out for the Warriors. Moses Moody also out here, so little problems at guard here a little bit for the Warriors. KP, though, probable. Melton, probable. Dre, probable here in this one. All right, now we're ready. Here we go. Oh, that's right. I remember, Robert. Yeah, I remember that, right? Yeah, because we were all battling in there. I kind of faded. I was like, I would think I was like in the number 2 or number 3, and then all of a sudden my teams at the end kind of gave up. All right, and let's see what we got here. Wizards money line for Josh. We'll start it off. They got to win sometime, right? This sounds like a good one for them. Warriors here for Public Enemy. Wizards on the spread for 9 Legacy. Roberts on the Wizards. And Trae Young going to be in that lineup, right? He's looked good. I'm going to comment on that later when we get to the Atlanta game next, but talking about Trae Young a little bit and what he has meant or not meant for Atlanta, right, in their Atlanta hot streak here. But like I said, right now with the Wizards looking terrible, right, this is probably Trae Young territory. And then if you would have put him on the good team, that's probably, Atlanta, they were, questionable team there for quite a long time, right, with Young, like kind of an underachiever. And then boom, all of a sudden the guy's like in the doghouse. They kind of bench him a little bit. He's injured. They start to play well. And then all of a sudden now you have a team like Atlanta that's one of the hottest in the league without Trae Young with this revamped team. And all of a sudden they look really good. So it is interesting, isn't it? Farley here on the over. Greg with his pick. Wiz Plus for Crip. Portland here, garbage everywhere. Steve Lefterian, Golden State, and over. Terrell still taking that Golden State despite that anemic team, making 12 losses in the row for the Wiz. He's going to take them here. They at least got to get the win, right? At least Dre's in there. Maybe they can make do with it here. Greg says, I'll take 7.5 with the Washington Generals here. Terrell, East brackets, talking about the brackets in there. Terrell, Warriors money line and Trae Young to get 15 points. You know how Jordy's going to play it. Greg says, Warriors ain't covering that. Wizards might even beat them. Warriors first half for LALB. I'll take the Wiz and ease on down the road. Let's go next up to Magic and Hawks. So, look, this is the game of the night. This is the game of the week right here, and it's on Peacock. Of course it is. The two hottest teams in the NBA here. These guys wouldn't be a 16 seed. Let's go to it, man. Can you believe these teams right now? Atlanta, 9 wins in a row. And it goes beyond that. We know Trae was out for a long time and injured, getting back, and hopefully he'll pick it up. Maybe he will be the key for Washington winning. They'll probably go 500 the rest of the way or something. We'll make fun of him. But it is interesting, right? When Trae Young, this Atlanta team, floundering around, you wonder when they're ever going to be any good. You'd think with Trae Young, I mean, he's always been the guy that they've kind of ridden throughout the years, over the last several years, right? And he gets hurt, you get a little bit of complaining, and maybe it's not the best spot anymore. Starts not playing, trying to find a trade for him. They find the trade. Atlanta's already playing well without him, and now fully gone with him here. And we know kind of a drama queen, right? Now look at Atlanta, 9 straight wins. And not only that, they were playing well before that even. And Orlando, 7 straight wins, and they've been just terrific too. It feels real with Orlando, right? It feels like not so much real as far as maybe they can pull off an upset with this team. Actually, they've won 7 in a row anyways. Atlanta's covered 8 of their last 9. Orlando 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. They're looking just as good. Very closely rated game though, and it's still going to give Atlanta home court edge. A lot of credit here. They've all actually won the last game at Atlanta here, 127-112. It's a 3.5 point dog, and now they're 2.5 point favorites. But Atlanta's been hot. Orlando has lost 16 of the last 20 meetings to Atlanta. 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two have gone under. Atlanta's gone under in 9 of 12, but come on. Orlando's gone over in 4 of 5 here. Total 230.5. I'm not saying come on because I think it is probably I'm going under. I think under is going to be my play actually here in this game. Atlanta, I think I might prefer them here today. I mean, they are the better cover right now, 35-32 overall. Remember, Orlando, as good as they are, they're just 30-36 ATS. I'm going to say Atlanta 35-32 ATS overall. At home, not great. I mean, they're not a great home favorite, but again, here against as hot as they are against similar ilk. Atlanta here has been covering all these games. They didn't cover against Brooklyn, laying 15.5, but this ain't 15.5. Orlando, meanwhile, also a hot cover, although they did not cover, laying a big number to Washington. So reasonable numbers these guys are covering, but can only pick one here. And what are you going to do? I'm going to take the under in this one with Orlando and Atlanta as my pick on the show. But yeah, give me the under here in this one. Let's go to the chat, see what you have. A great game here. Orlando is 13-10 to the over as a dog, but Atlanta is 14-18 to the under as a favorite. And I think with the series going under here a little bit, I think the total looks a little high. In fact, it's 232. Or it's higher than 230 and a half. Maybe it's 231, 231 and a half, but it's definitely going up right now. 231 and a half shaded to the over at DraftKings, 232 under at Bet Online here right now. I'm going to give myself another point here. Here we go with your picks. And Terrell says, yeah, you know what? Atlanta's all good now. The drama's out. The times are good. But, we got to grow up. We got Greg here, 117, 114. Public Enemy, Magic and Hawks over in this one. Crip Key does like the over, huh? Crip Key, Magic plus the points. And Robert plus the points, too. Especially at 3.5 here right now. Do I have a stale number up there? Yeah. Mostly, I'm only going to give you 3, but may have been some 3.5s out there. I think we're looking at mostly 3 across the board here right now. And let's see who else is with us here. Farley on the Magic. Greg says Atlanta here just barely. Jimbo's here today. Joining us in the chat. 9 Legacy. Orlando Moneyline. Dimitri Mamo, Atlanta. Jordy's going to throw on Jalen Johnson as his player to score and tie him up with Atlanta on the money line. I'm going to take the under in this one with Orlando and Atlanta. Look, when you're playing pretty good there with these two teams, right, you have to think that they're playing good for a reason, and these are not gigantic over teams. Like, I don't say like you might expect. Orlando, after all, has gone over. I said 4 of their last 5. It's actually 4 straight games. Ken Mizrahi, hello. Steven Leptarian on Orlando. They've gone over in 4 straight, but Atlanta's gone under in 3 straight. Still, Orlando just 16 overs and 16 unders on the road. Orlando, 16 unders and 16 overs on the road, and Atlanta is 13-21 to the under at home. Next up. All right, we're not in the tank. Well, we are in the tankathon with this game, I think there, right? With Portland and Brooklyn here, but Portland favored by 10 now, and these are getting a little bit dicey. I mean, Portland's good, but come on. Brooklyn's back to losing again. But they did get a cover here. They've lost 3 straight, but they covered the last 2, and they're covering a lot of them all of a sudden. Maybe sign of a, decently coached team here right now. Portland actually has been failing here. They lost the last game to Philly on the road, got beat by 6. They were beat by 6, but they were favored in that one against Philly there yesterday, right? We were on Philly. They didn't cover a big number against Utah. They lost to Charlotte, but they were a dog in that one. But 10 points here, the Blazers. Oh, man. Look, we've been on these tankathon teams, but even I've got to start to draw the line here, I think, somewhere. For Portland here, 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. Brooklyn, despite going 2-13 straight up in their last 15, have covered 4 of their last 5. Now, Portland may have their number a little bit. They only meet twice a year, but Portland is 13-7 in the last 20 in the 10-year sample here straight up, and over the last 10 years, 6-3 against the spread the last 9 meetings. Brooklyn's 1-4 against the spread their last 5 at home when playing Portland. So not a great matchup in the years past. But again, we're in the tankathon here, and you just got to think. I mean, look, I'm happy for Portland. If anything, I've been saying, hey, don't forget, Portland's had a good year. The problem with Portland right now is they are in the 10 slot, and they're going to be in the 10 slot probably. Maybe the Warriors will fall behind them, but it does feel like they're going to be in the 9-10, and the 9-10's no good. For Brooklyn here, though, losses to Detroit, Atlanta, and Philly. Like I said, they did get 2 covers. They also beat Memphis. They beat Detroit in the first meeting between the teams met twice in 4 days with the game with Memphis in between. So look, the Nets have actually been covering a few games here. They're 5-5 ATS in their last 10. I mean, usually we won't read off something like that, but when you're as bad as this team is, and Portland is 15-19 against the spread on the road, yeah, Brooklyn's a bad underdog, 27-35, but they are 16-16 ATS at home. So kind of want to look to Brooklyn here a little bit in this game. Total, as far as the total is concerned, you do have Portland here. Just want to note now, yesterday it did not come through, and yesterday I did not take it. I mean, in fact, yesterday I went with the under, but Portland is 21-8 to the over as a favorite, and Brooklyn is 18-14 to the over at home. So I kind of like the over too. I might take that as my pick. Maybe I'm going to go with you guys first, but Brooklyn's gone over in 10 of their last 11 at home. I say 18-14, but 10-1 to the over in their last 11. So that's what's happening. They've been going over here in some of these home games. Now they did just go under in 2 in a row, but those were on the road. Portland here and Brooklyn. Let's go to the chat and see what you have in this one. And Public Enemy says the Blazers, how'd they lose it? I talked about the golf tournament. Did anybody see the live golf? We were on the air, right? Were you guys following me there? When Richard T. Lee missed that. I see him on, I'm watching the Sports Center or something. They're showing like Bryson DeChambeau holding the trophy. They didn't even show what happened, that Richard T. Lee missed a 2-foot putt that rolled out and sailed 4 feet the other way. And even Bryson DeChambeau goes, and he won the tournament. Like he felt, he genuinely felt bad for that dude. JP's going under here. I think I'm going over. All right. Terrell always breaking it down for us, talking about the East Coast road trip there. Hey, Stacks is here. He's got the over here with me in this one. 9 Legacy Blazers here. I think I better just go with the, I'll go with the over here. We're going to need some premiums today somewhere along the line. And maybe you heard what I like there on the side, but I'll take the over here. That might actually be the best play of the game, but let's go with a winner. Let's take it over here. I see Stacks on it. I'm on it too. I'm on the over in this one with Portland and Brooklyn. Greg here's got his, but he says Brooklyn and under though. And Brooklyn said they're only averaging. He says they're only averaging 109. I got you on that. No doubt about it, Greg. But like I said, 10-1 to the over in the last 11 at home. And you're playing a Portland team. I don't think we're seeing a lot of defense necessarily from a Portland team. Like I said, 21-8 to the over as a favorite. Now I'll give it, look, they were playing Philly yesterday and it stayed under. And ironically, I mean, I had that stat. We even talked about it. I still went under in that game for a winner. If anybody saw it. In fact, it was on that Cover the Spread show that I went under in the Portland Philly game. All right, here we go with the Blazers over there for Jordy. All right, I think that's it from you guys. I'll take the over as my official play. All right, Mavericks and Pelicans here. Hey, we're covering them all. We need some games to bet, so we check in with these teams and see how it's going with Cooper Flag, how it's going with the Pelicans. Look, Pelicans are awesome. They should put them in the play-in here. The Pelicans have been looking good. Now, this is a big number, but they are covering, and now they're up to 9, by the way, 238.5 here. So it's kind of teetering there on 239. I even see a 240 right now at Bovada, so better just leave it at right around at least 239, but could be even higher here with this one. And, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about this one being so wild here. Dallas is you think of Flag, you think of his scoring prowess, but I mean, they are an under team for sure. New Orleans isn't exactly a dynamite over here, but let me talk about it and see what you guys think too, because remember, this is a also ran game, so it could be easily just a run up and down the court. We got some great athletes here. Why play any defense? But for whatever reason, all of a sudden, the New Orleans Pelicans are covering these numbers. They're not winning, but they're covering. They're winning some too. They did just lose to Houston 107-105 in their last time out. They've had a couple of days off, but covered that one. They beat Toronto at home, beat Washington at home, lost to Phoenix on the road, but covered. Beat Sacramento on the road, beat up Sacramento on the road. They've covered in 5 straight games here right now for New Orleans. 4-1 against spread their last 5 at home. Dallas has lost 9 of 11. We know they really haven't been very good. They did beat Cleveland, though, yesterday. Hats off. Will mention, obviously, here that it is a back-to-back. And look, I was on Dallas. I didn't know they were going to win the game by 10. Bad job by Cleveland there. It was revenge for Dallas, interestingly enough. Still pro basketball after all. They lost by 33, so they did come back and lost at home and then came back and beat them. So credit Dallas here. Look, Dallas is going to be one day. I don't think when I talk about Cooper Flagg, remember when I was here last year, it's that Cooper Flagg is can't miss pro. This guy's going to be, potential Hall of Famer. I think he's going to be that, he's obviously good already, and we'll see, but a long way to go. But I mean, eventually he'll turn a team into a winner. They'll build around him. I'm sure he'll be a winner eventually. And that's a good way to get an impressive win there, beating some team that you just got crushed by and beat them on the road as a 15-point underdog. Dallas did beat Memphis as well. They did have a couple losses to Atlanta and Toronto on the road. That's going to happen. Dallas, poor numbers here spread-wise, just 2-8 ATS in their last 10, 13-21 ATS on the road. New Orleans 19-15 against the spread at home. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under, although when they play here in New Orleans, 4 of the last 5 have gone over. Still Dallas under in 8 of their last 10 games here overall. For New Orleans here, one thing to note with them now, this is a 9-point spread. It might be a little bit too much, but I believe New Orleans has the best record in the NBA percentage-wise as a favorite ATS, 10-3. They'll only the 14th time they'll have been favorites, but 10-3 ATS for New Orleans. And like I said, not only 5 straight, but 8-2 ATS overall, 20-13 against the spread at home. So look, it might be tough, but I mean, I think you almost got to look to this big number and maybe lay it with New Orleans. It might be too much. So I'll probably take the under here as my official play with Dallas and New Orleans. I'll take the under here. Like I said, Dallas is very solid under here right now. Yeah, the 2 games against Cleveland went over, ironically enough. Remember, I'm saying Cleveland's going to be an under here team real soon, but before that, they were actually on an under streak of 8 straight here. So I don't know, maybe against New Orleans it does go over. New Orleans does go over 19 of 34 at home. So let's go to the chat, though, here right now and see what you have in this one. All right, and good morning to Chicago Joe, always bringing the winners out. Here's JP Farley on the Pelicans and Robert McCormick on the Pelicans. Mavericks money line for 9 Legacy. Jimmy Lambo says, who do you got? I don't know if I said who I've got for March. Well, I've got to go. Do I want $360? Do I want $120? Or do I want $1,200? I guess I want Arkansas to win it all. But you know what? I got to ride with my futures, I think, right? I think that's I guess I could pick one of these others, but I'll go with Duke. That's the one. I got $40 to win $360. I know it's not a lot, but I don't bet a lot on future. I look to get into a position to win. So that's what I ended up with. And so I got Duke. I guess I got Duke. And Arizona, I have a futures bet. And Arkansas is my long shot there. But I think I'm going to also. I might be adding Arkansas and St. John's here. At least maybe to win their region. Probably to win their regions there. Let's see. Cooper Flagg is going to be Jordy's key player there. And Terrell says New Orleans covers. Mavs on that back-to-back. That has to be a big factor. Pels with a couple days off. And Kripke says Mavericks on the money line. I'll take the under, though, as my official play here in this one. Keep it moving here right now and go to, we got a good one here with the Suns taking on the Celtics here. seen the NBA finals with these teams in years past, old school and recently. And well, we got the Celtics here favored by 8.5. And the total here is 213.5. Wow, man, low total here, but why not? I mean, with the Suns and the Celtics, you might take the over. Just maybe the experts are too right here, right? Has it gone too low? I don't know if it has. I mean, you look at these two teams. I mean, especially Boston. Boston's gone under in 2/3 of their games pretty much this season. If you think about it, they're 23-44 to the under. Not quite 67%. What's that? 63%. Gone under in 8 of their last 10. They've gone under in 11 of 21 at home. That again, right there, almost 65%, and 16-32 to the under as a favorite. That's 67%. So Boston, I mean, you talk about an under team. I mean, that's Boston for sure, right? Interestingly enough, you think of, okay, so Boston's a defensive team. They played their first game against Phoenix this season back in February. The final score was 97-81. Phoenix had a bad day. And Boston usually rocks these guys pretty good. Phoenix is under too, 29-37 to the under overall, although 17-15 to the over on the road. Both teams are great covers. It's going to be hard to make a pick here, maybe, or maybe not. I mean, the spread's pretty big, and like I said, I'm still like a Phoenix guy. I'm a Phoenix backer. They cash. But so does Boston. Phoenix is 40-27 against the spread this year. That's terrific. 20-12 against the spread on the road. If you had to make any comparison here, it might be the fact that they are a good road cover. Also, they're 19-15 ATS as a dog. But here, Boston, yeah, they're 39-28 against the spread this season. 27-21 against the spread as a favorite, but just 16-16 against the spread at home. So maybe they get tacked on a little bit there. Boston still covered 10 of their last 14. They've won 15 of their last 20. Then Boston is 5-0 straight up and against the spread against the Phoenix Suns over the last 3 seasons here. Phoenix has won 4 of 5, however. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5, however. Mention those unders, right? 8 of the last 11 in this series have gone under, and Boston's gone under in 7 of their last 8 overall. So let me see there what you think. I think the key for me is that Boston is kind of a 500 team at home against the spread. Phoenix, 20-12 ATS on the road, including 19-15 against the spread. They did lose to them. That's pretty bad to only score 81 points. May not be much of a revenge factor. That was about 3 weeks ago, that game. But when you score 81 points, you might remember. Boston here has lost 2 of their last 3, albeit to San Antonio and Oklahoma City. And then when they played Washington there the other day, right, they were ahead, like I said, by 20, and they played around and only won by 11. Didn't even come close to covering. So Phoenix has been a nice cover here of late. They did just lose at Toronto, fell short of the number by 1.5 as a 7-point loser, getting 5.5. But before that, had wins and covers over Charlotte, Milwaukee, and Indiana. No comparison to a team like Boston, but this Phoenix team is a playoff team, play-in team, and they are likely to have the number 7 seed. In fact, they are climbing closer and closer to that group of teams, New Orleans, between Minnesota, Denver a little bit. They might even get out of the 7 seed, which would be huge. Being the 7 seed is fine because you're almost guaranteed to make the playoffs in the 7 seed. But they have been playing well enough. They could even move up. I got to take Phoenix here plus these points. I think they're playing well. And, Boston's, I guess they're pretty okay. I guess Boston's okay. But I think we did have a time change on this game. Actually, I might be going out of order here now. But the Boston game, there's been some TV because I think they moved that Atlanta game into the Peacock. I don't know what's going on here. But this game is now at 7:40 Eastern, 4:40 Pacific time with Phoenix and Boston here. So I might be you're out of order. You're out of order. Let's go to the chat and see what you got here in this one. Celtics 4, Public Enemy. Crip Keys, Celtics own the Suns. Can't make any argument there statistically with that. Only thing I can say is that it is an interconference game, so they only meet every 2 years, but it has been 5 in a row and pretty decisively. Last year they won by 30 and 20. Boston covered them both, and in the season before that they won by 10 and 15, covered them both there. The spread's only gotten bigger over the last couple of years here, and maybe it's not taken into consideration that Phoenix is such an improved team. Like I said, I think Phoenix here, and the one thing that's been special, for Phoenix, they are excellent at defending the 3-point basket. I've got them as number 2 in the league. Okay, Celtics and under here for West Up. Celtics on the spread here for 9. Legacy. JP Farley on the under. Justin's on the under here in this one. And it's tough, I know, but this under, I mean, just, we might be in the 205 range here. Robert here on the Suns. Greg here giving his prognostication. Booker is Jordy's boost player here. Phoenix coming off a loss to Toronto. Greg says Boston probably stretched their muscle here, and that's a good opponent to do it against. Flea Matthew is here today. Flea Mathis, also Dimitri. Bounce back for Phoenix. Have time off. Suns keep it close, says Terrell. All right, I'm going backing up a little bit. I know I got this kind of screwed up. Sorry about that. I knew there was a time change here. It was kind of coming across as I was doing the show. So take a look at this one here, though, right now with Dallas and Memphis and Chicago. This one's actually at 8:10 Eastern, 5:10 Pacific time. And look at this total. I mean, geez, 243. But I don't know. The numbers might actually say under, but when I'm thinking about this matchup, I'm thinking over. I don't know. Memphis is in another losing streak. There are a bunch of losers here. 7 straight losses for Memphis right now. But they have gone 6-3 ATS in the last 9, and they are getting the points here from a Chicago team that is probably the worst favorite in the NBA. 6-18 for the Bulls, laying the points. Oh, my God. We can't pass, can we? The Bulls here have lost 2 straight to LA Clippers. Covered against the Clippers, failed against the Lakers, lost them both. They did beat Golden State on the road as a 6-point dog, did the Chicago Bulls before that. The Bulls are 16-17 against the spread at home. Memphis 19-26 against the spread as a dog. They've not been great. ATS here, they're on a losing streak. They've failed to cover in 3 of their last 4, all as underdogs here now. They covered when they were getting the 16.5 from Detroit, but when they were getting 5.5 from Dallas, another bad team, remember they were actually at home in that one and lost by 8. They also couldn't cover against Philly, getting 4.5, and they couldn't cover against Brooklyn in a very tightly rated game. So, that Chicago number does bother me, that they have such a bad record ATS-wise, but, and this has been a terrible season. Remember when Chicago was off to an okay start? 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. Chicago's gone under in 8 of their last 10. Memphis has gone over in 5 of 6. I think the total's 243. Obviously it's supposed to be a high-scoring game. When these two teams have met last year, in fact, they haven't met in over a calendar year, actually. This is the first meeting in 15 months between these two teams. They played both of their meetings last season, early in the season, and went for 273 and 249. Now, that was a long time ago. That was back in the Ja days, I guess. Let's see what you got injury-wise here with Memphis and Chicago. Did we cover any other injuries? Did we miss? Because Memphis, everyone's injured. Clayton questionable, Jerome doubtful, G.G. Jackson doubtful, Aldama's out, Pippen is out. Jalen Wells is probable. Bulls, Sexton questionable. Okoro doubtful. Jalen Smith probable. Jeez, man. I'm going to try the Bulls here as a favorite. I don't feel real good about this. but I'd rather take the Bulls here at home against Memphis. Ironically, the road team, I believe, has won 4 straight meetings in this series. Chicago, 22-12 to the under at home. All the signs point to an under here, but I don't buy it. I just think the totals were, you got a team like Chicago that's like I said, 12-22 to the under, and they've gone under in 8 of their last 10. Yet the total is 243. So it may go under, but it's only because it's going to be like 240 or something. So I think it's got a real good chance to be into the closer to 250 here. But I'm going to take the Bulls in this one. Yeah, I think those injuries are right. Let's go to the chat. See what you got here. We do have some Grizzlies support, it looks like. Public enemy on the Grizzlies. JP Farley on the Grizzlies. Nine Legacy says, lay it with the balls. Lay it with the balls. Good thing we didn't have a go over my Michael Jackson crotch grab there. Let's see. Chicago coming off a brutal road trip, says Greg Gibson. Robert on the Bulls here. Dimitri on Memphis. I don't think you meant to say that, but I liked it. Chicago spot here. Greg Gibson on the under. Chicago spot for Greg there, he says. Jordy uses Giddy as his bonus player there. And Justin says Giddy triple-double at nearly 4-1 today. That you're going to need some production, right, Justin? So I think you got to have a high-scoring game. And Jermaine says if you've got it high, you got to think with Taylor Hendricks in there today, right? I mean, you look at this lineup for these teams. I mean, you got for the Grizzlies, you're going to have Hendricks. You're going to have Olivier Prosper in there pouring it on. You're going to have Coward. You're going to have Javon Small. These are the guys that are running it, right? With the Bulls, with Smith. I mean, Smith's good to go, right? I know he missed some time there I missed the game on Friday, but if he's ready to go here, you got to think he's going to have a pretty strong game. And I don't know who else you'd have in there. Yabusele, Nick Richards, Buzelis as well. And Trey Jones, yeah. All right. Buzelis, yeah, Buzelis. There it is. You guys said it. Chicago played the Clippers tough. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, guys. I'm going to take the Bulls. I'm going to take the Bulls here as my free pick, okay? Let's go to Lakers and Rockets now here. All right, the Lakers, man, how good has it been for the Lakers here? Everyone doubting them, and this is where you want them, I guess. They can't stop winning. They can't stop covering here, the Lakers. Anybody not making money with the Lakers, it might be kidding themselves right now. Won and covered all these games in a row. Here, look, they said it in the media. JJ Redick told LeBron, play like it, and Bron, I think he thinks he is a team player, right? And he thinks he has to do more. LeBron's taking less than 15 shots a game here consistently. And ironically, the Lakers are winning and covering every game. So, look, I know what you want to say about LeBron. I've already gotten into it in the chat here with some guys earlier. But he's obeying. And it's paying off, man, the Lakers. Right now, winning streak here for Los Angeles stands at 5 straight. They've covered all 5. Also, they played do pretty well against Houston, 14-6 straight up last 20, 4-2 ATS in their last 6. See what happens here with the Lakers, right? They are off the win over Denver as an underdog. Houston here, meanwhile, off a win over New Orleans and did not cover. They failed 3 of 4. They've won 5 of their last 6 at home, but just 2-6 ATS in their last 8 games overall. Houston's actually won 5 of the last 6 games against the Lakers at home. So it's kind of a home-dominated series. I said the Lakers kind of have Houston's number, and they do for the most part. But at home, Houston does get the win here over the last couple of seasons. Houston's gone under in 4 of their last 5, but I'll tell you where Houston's really going under is at home. 10 and 21 to the under, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's going to be an over in this game. The Lakers are, putting up, 127 in that Denver game, 142 against the Bulls. They've had a few scoring games here. Now the Lakers are 8-2 ATS in the last 10. In addition to those 5 straight covers, they are just 11 and 16 against the spread as an underdog. But Houston is among the worst against the spread. Period. 12 and 19 against the spread at home, and 24 and 34 against the spread as a favorite here. So see what you got here. I'm just going with the over, and I'm going to ignore the fact that Houston is nearly 70% to the under at home. Kind of going on the eye test here a little bit with this one. I'm going to go over with the Lakers and Houston here tonight. And I think the trends kind of show under. Now, when they met last time out, it was an under at LA back on Christmas, 119-96. Remember, they got pasted there. They're only meeting. These guys are going to meet a couple more times, I think, here over the last 15 or 16 games or so. Let's go to the chat and see what you got in this one. Los Angeles, a time change here to 9:40 Eastern, 6:40 Pacific time. Şengün, questionable here. Maxi Kleber is out. That's pretty much it for the short-term injuries. Let's go to the chat. And here we go. Lakers for JP Farley. Greg, maybe Lakers money line here, as well as 9 legacy on the money line. Crip Key says Rockets if Şengün is in, but I think it's going to be close there, right? And look, does the spread kind of indicate it? 2.5 here. The total here, though, let me see here. What do I got it listed on the screen? 227. Yeah, it's going down a little bit. I really don't see any 227s out there anymore. It's been going under here a little bit. Lakers for Robert McCormick. And Greg says Houston's terrible. That game against New Orleans where they was a bad game. Yeah, but they won the game, but they didn't cover. All right, let's see here. Somebody texting me doesn't watch the morning steam, obviously. LeBron here, the Academy Awards last night. Greg here, Lakers and under. Public Enemy, Lakers money line and under. Terrell, Rockets money line. Lakers first game of a 6-game road trip. Here, got to hit the road after that long homestand. And what does Dimitri say? Too many Lakers. So Houston, she's fading the public there a little bit, I think. Durant under there for Jermaine. And it says home game versus the West. That's where they do their business, apparently. All right, we got one more here. I'm on the over in that one. Spurs and Clippers here at the Intuit Dome with the Spurs, a big favorite here by 9.5. In this one, got the Spurs here, maybe down to 9. The reason why, you got no Kawhi. So still, that's a pretty dicey number. It is down. In fact, I'm starting to see Bovada here has moved to 8 minus 20. I'm going to call it 9, but there's some movement going on right now at Bovada. Let's see if this carries market wide. Total also here is way up here. Wow. 233 right now in this one with the Spurs and the Clippers. These are the overnight numbers here. Maybe you got a little sleep last night with no sports, right? Small schedule. 233 right now? I don't know about that. Now, I know that the Clippers have totally turned into a high-scoring team by getting rid of James Harden and going with Garland. I mean, it is just totally flip-flopped and they were still playing well. The funny thing is, they were playing already. They were on that hot streak with Harden in there, and this has only helped them here. But 233 right now? Did I miss the steam on this one? Yeah, I guess I did. The Spurs also got steamed, but wow. This one was as low as 227.5, and I might be a little skeptical here. Let's break it down. Huh? See what do we think here in this one, because I get it. I mean, I was kind of talking up the over at 220. I don't know. All right, here come the Spurs win off of Charlotte their last time out, 115 to 112. They did win and cover. They've been playing well here. They're in that battle right now for the top spot in the Western Conference. Currently here with the Thunder, they're 3.5 back. Clippers, meanwhile, they're in 8th place. They could get to 7th or higher, but they're really more interested probably in making sure they stay ahead of the Warriors, stay ahead of the Blazers. I mean, they really threw in a clunker there against Sacramento at home, losing that game. Games you're supposed to win there, 118 to 109. They lost to Sacramento in a shocker at home. They were hot before that. I guess they're still hot. Here, the Clippers have still won 4 of their last 5, 12 of their last 16. They're not Spurs hot. Spurs have won 17 of 19, 14 and 5 against the spread for the Spurs the last 19 games. Clippers 12 and 14 ATS, I should say, last 16. San Antonio just 4 and 8 ATS against the Clippers in the last 12 games here over the last few seasons. San Antonio's gone over in 4 of their last 5. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone over, and the Clippers have gone over in 5 of their last 7. But the the Spurs are an under team. Yeah, the Clippers may be a lean to the over this season, but and again, right, like I said, right now they've turned into an over team. Ironically, they just went under in back-to-back games against Sacramento and Chicago, although they were huge favorites in those games. I don't know if that makes a difference, but San Antonio is 14 and 21 to the under on the road and 22 and 28 to the under as a favorite. The Clippers, meanwhile, are just 17 and 16 to the over at home. They are 19 and 14 to the over as a dog. The meeting back just 10 days ago was 116 to 112 for just 228 there. That was the old number on this. It did go over, mind you, and that's the only meeting that the two teams actually have had this season. So, oh man, let me hear from you in the chat, and I want to hear what you think. This is very interesting to hear this last game. In fact, I'm seeing now the 8.5s are starting to come in, so it does feel like this is a move going on here a little bit to the Clippers right now. I think I'm going to just take the Clippers here plus these points. I mean, I know no Kawhi. Let me look at the other injuries here. It should be a pretty good report. Game time change 10:10 Eastern, 7:10 Pacific. Kawhi doubtful. He's not actually out yet. Cornette out for the Spurs. Harper out for the Spurs. Clippers also. Batum is probable here. And our man Yannick Coden-Niederhauser is still out. All right. I'm probably just going to take the Clippers. I might have to reevaluate this, but I might be fading that move on the total. We'll see. I'm never going over in that game. It's under or pass, I think. Give me the Clippers here in this one. I'm going to still take these points, even without Kawhi. Maybe the Spurs are on a roll here. They've covered some nice games. They've covered against not only Charlotte, that's a tough team. They covered against Boston. Well, that speaks for itself. They covered against Houston in a 25-point win at home. And like I said, the last meeting there was 116 to 112. The Spurs did win at home against the Clippers, but they didn't cover. Go to the chat here in this one. I'm just going to take the clip joint. Clippers for JP Farley. And Jermaine's got Matter in here for a PR. Fox a PA, both to go over. And Greg says, did you see that game? Charlotte 119 to 112. I think, he said, you see that against Charlotte? And he's saying this game, 119-112. That's what he's saying. M the Great, hello. Robert on the Clippers here. Jermaine says, this going to 240 here. Oh, man, okay. No wonder it's on a massive move there. Oh, boy. Okay, Jermaine, I'm going to have to check that out because you got to respect this move for sure. Usually I am the one to respect a move like this, but I probably just would have to just shy away from giving it out as a premium or anything. And I usually like to be out ahead of something like that. Surprised I didn't give this out earlier as a play and note that move because I'm still not sure I'm behind it. Bounce back for the Clippers, says Terrell here after losing to San Antonio on March 6th. Look ahead for the Spurs. They got to play the Mighty Kings. Greg here says Spurs in the under. Crip Key looks like Clippers. Can't do it though. He says, I'm just a little gun shy. And also here, 9 Legacy. Clippers to cover, even without Kawhi. That's what I'm doing. Clippers for Dimitri. No Kawhi. Clippers are getting smashed, says West Up. That's it for the NBA. What a good segment that was here on a Monday. We've got NHL action here on the ice. 5 games to look at here right now. Get ready in the chat for the NHL. We're going to look at them all. I think all of them made. We wouldn't get rid of any of these games. I think they all have teams that are involved here in the postseason, it feels like right now. So let's go to it. Start here right now in the NHL with the Flames taking on the Red Wings. Got 3 games that start at 7 in Eastern and 4 Pacific in this one. Detroit struggling here all of a sudden with 3 straight losses right now. Losses to Florida, Tampa Bay, and Dallas. It's a pretty tough schedule, even though Florida's been crummy. They've actually played a little bit better here of late. And, still a good franchise, just having a bad year, I guess. For the Red Wings here, they played tough against Dallas in that last game. I mean, it did go to overtime after all, but Dallas got the win, and that was at Dallas. Calgary, meanwhile, comes in having lost 3 of 4, lost to the Islanders on the road. This is their 5th straight road game right now. They did beat New Jersey 5-4 a couple nights ago, but still, Calgary, pretty bad. I actually want to take them in this game. But let's see what you guys have here with the Calgary and Detroit. Let me see if this line has moved at all, because it feels like the Sharps are on Calgary, and I'm kind of with them here. In fact, this one's down to looks like $1.80 maximum, at least 10 cents off of this. So I'd say it's a move. That's got to be a move to the under there a little bit here. The total, though, either 5.5 over 20. I'm also seeing some 6 under 20s here. So it's either 5.5 or 6 right now. Let me know what you think on the total here anyway. I'll cover it here a little bit. But Calgary here, 10-21 on the road, 18-14 as an underdog. They've lost 3-6-1 in their last 10 games overall right now. Detroit 18-11 at home, just 16-14 as a favorite. That's not great. Calgary's been going over a little bit here, I think, of late. Let me take a look at these numbers here. Calgary Calgary's gone over in 3 of their last 5. Calgary has lost 7 straight meetings to Detroit here. They're also 1-4 straight up on the road in their last 5 overall. They've lost 7 of 9. Detroit's gone under in 4 of their last 5 and 6 of their last 9 against Calgary, but Detroit's lost 5 in a row at home and 5 of their last 6 games overall. Struggling a little bit here. Like I said, they are playing some decent teams. But I might want to take Calgary here in this one at plus money right now. I'm worried about Detroit here, actually. Looking at the current standings here anyway, Detroit, look, they're hanging on. They're in the wild card chase here. They're currently in second place in a tiebreaker with Boston. Boston is the leading in the tiebreaker, but Columbus is only 1 point behind Detroit. It's a must win here. Calgary's long been done. So important game for Detroit, but I don't know. This pressure's on, man. I know Calgary's bad, but I feel like I want to take them here. Maybe I could look at the total. I'll see what you guys have in the chat, but I don't know. I don't know. 620. I mean, 3-2 seems more likely. I'm not sure. I'm going to take the Flames here on the road. I'm going to go with a long shot here to open the card on a 5-game card. Give me the Flames to upset tonight. Here we go with, Jermaine said 190. Okay. Hey, Papa Ricky in there. He's got his NHL plays there, it looks like, with the Kings there. Also, the Bruins and Colorado run the puck line. Thank you too, Papa Ricky was hockey. Nine Legacy is going to be with Calgary with me. AOD is here. Thank you, AOD. And maybe Jermaine might like the overtime in this one. JP is going under. I think that's it from you guys in the chat. And we do have a little bit of breaking news here right now. Let's get to it. All right, this just in. I see. You saw me looking over there trying to make. I need my glass. I need those glasses from. Need some glasses here to read the tweet deck. But the Chiefs are trading for Jets quarterback Justin Fields. The Chiefs feel like they might need Fields. They might need Fields here at the start of the season. If Mahomes isn't ready, they're going to groom Fields to be the starting quarterback while Mahomes is kind of just finishing up, hopefully, there his injury process there. And if just in case, going to have Justin Fields. And we know the Chiefs have kind of been thin on backup over the last few years, just hoping that their man doesn't get hurt. But just with the nature of the injury there, obviously it was such a big deal. The Jets are sending quarterback Justin Fields for a 6th-round draft choice. And Fields will be on the Chiefs to get all the reps in the off-season workouts and probably in the preseason as well. And we'll see. It does feel like a move like that. Maybe that Mahomes, look, probably pretty, he's not young, he's not old, but we'll see if there's any timetable on that too. They just want to be ready in Fields. Look, anything. We've seen Field, sometimes we question him. Sometimes we in love with him a little bit and say, wow, man, why can't he be like this all the time? We know he's got some limitations physically probably that's going to prevent him from being a great quarterback in the National Football League. He's obviously headed for backup roles here for the rest of his career now. But you know what? If I were the Chiefs, that doesn't sound like a bad option compared to what they had and what they can do. So Justin Fields to the Chiefs. All right. And we're going to keep it going here right now with your comments in this one. I said I'm on the Flames here. I think that's it. Hello to Stop Geo. Next game up is the Kings taking on the Rangers. Look, the Kings are at home. The Rangers are on the road. You know what to do. Now, it's hard because the Kings are, they're kind of struggling. They're winning, but they are in a win-loss pattern. It's time to win. And the Kings are one of the best road teams in the league, 17-9. On the road, as bad as they've been, they win almost 2/3 of the time on the road. And we know the Rangers, how bad they've been at home. They've really been the worst home team in the league, actually. 9 and maybe they've gotten it together here, but percentage-wise, still too 9-15. Hey, we do have a little bit of college basketball steam. Let's squeeze it in here because we want to keep an eye on these moves because these things, these big games will move big time. When I'm giving you this one, for example, you can expect the move. Purdue is getting steamed right now. The Boilers talked about how good they were. They've got an incredible guard play. I don't know if Smith is going to be a good guard in the NBA. Maybe he will. Maybe he has to play somewhere else. Maybe he has to play in a different league. But in college basketball, he's about as good as they come. And the steam's coming in on Purdue right now was 23.5 up to 25.5 here right now. If you like Purdue, you might want to take them here against Queens. The total here also is moving lower as well, down to 162.5 right now at Bet Online. Open 164 at Circa. Now all the 25s are coming up. Right now, Purdue is getting steamed in the NCAA tournament. All right. Anyways, here, Kings are on the road. Rangers are at home. I don't know if I can. I think I just got to go back to the well. I mean, I don't want the Rangers here. Maybe the Kings have been sucking. I mean, look, they're going to miss the playoffs here. We know the Rangers are in last place, so the Kings better get one. This is one they really could use here, if anything. And I don't know. I like the total in this one. I think I'm going to save the total for a premium here. So I don't know if I can tip my hand a little bit. I'll read some trends. Maybe you can feel what I'm thinking about in this one. Still, the Kings have won only 4 of their last 13 overall, although they have beaten the Rangers in 4 of the last 5 meetings over the last couple of years. But the Rangers are actually 4-1 at home. This is a home-dominated series between these two teams. Play just twice a year. Rangers have won 5 of their last 6. They've gone under in 5 of their last 7 at home, but they've gone over in 5 of their last 7. And Kings have gone over in 4 of their last 6, although they've gone under in 7 of their last 9 games at home. So I don't know if I can hint at what I'm doing with the total necessarily, especially because the Rangers are they are 10-20 to the under at home, but 22-17 to the over as an underdog. I think they're still an underdog here. Showing the Kings right now at minus $1.20 or so in this one. I'm just going to take the Kings. I like the total too good. Don't have enough games here. I'm just gonna have to take the Kings in this one. I like the Kings. I mean, they're on the road. They get it done on the road. The Rangers don't get it done at home. Now the Rangers did win a few. The Rangers at one point, I believe, were 6-15 at home, and now they're 9-15. I think that's right. Let me see if they've won those last 3 home games. They beat Calgary 4-0. Yeah. So they've actually tried to fix it here, played a little bit better at home. The Kings, like I said, borderline playoff team right now. They are on the out. They are right now in the number 4 spot in the wild card, but just 2 points behind Seattle. They are behind San Jose as well. So you got the 3 Pacific Division teams almost competing for that one wild card spot. Probably Utah. They've been on a losing streak, though. We'll talk about them in a moment. But Utah leads the wild card. So give me the Kings here to win on the road over Rangers. Okay, here we go with you guys in the chat. Jordy's on the Kings. LALB says Kings money line and Lakers money line. Why not? Farley's on the Rangers money line. And Jermaine maybe on Kemper here. Robert is on the under. And don't forget, this game's got a great storyline, says Papa Ricky. As we get to see Panarin against his former team. And, he was such a, good player over there. All right, I'm just checking the headlines. That's going to do it for that one. I think I'm on the Kings there. Thanks a lot, everybody. Let's go to the next one here. Got the Bruins taking on the Devils in this one. Bruins here, 37-23-6. The Devils are 33-31-2. But, man, the Devils are long ways away from any playoffs. Just was not a great season here, really, for the Devils. Boston, meanwhile, they are in the wild card number 1 slot here. They're in the number 1 wild card position. Detroit also on 80 points. Columbus on 79. So it's tight, but they're only 2 points behind Montreal too. So the Bruins, actually could move up a little bit in the standings that way. If you want to look at it from the perspective of standings in the division. So they've been alternating wins and losses here. They'd be due for a loss, but they are playing New Jersey here. They are an underdog, right? So Boston here with a win over Washington last time out. And they lost to San Jose at home. They beat the Kings at home. Like I said, they've been alternating wins and losses here. New Jersey, meanwhile, off of a win over LA 6-4 the other night to snap a 2-game skid. New Jersey, just 17-15 at home. Boston, 12-14 on the road. More so a short-term trend here, though, between these two teams. You do have Boston here, just 1-7 in their last 8 on the road. Remember, they were on a 7-game losing streak on the road before that win at Washington. So even New Jersey, it hasn't been a great season, but that's a tough division. You think about it, they're actually basically a 500 team this year. That's not awful. It's just that, they're next to last place in front of the Rangers. But let me see what you guys have here. I'm probably going to think that Boston can't win on the road, even against New Jersey. Boston did win at home back in December in the first meeting of the season, 4-1. New Jersey is 14-20 to the under at home, but Boston's mostly an over team as a road dog, 18-12 to the over on the road, 24-18 to the over as a dog. Anybody who saw that game the other night was Swayman and Thompson with that shootout where no one could score for the first 7 rounds or something like that. But Markstrom here are going to be favored. That might be a clue here necessarily, but let's see what you think in this one. You've got Boston here. You've got the Devils. And let's go to the chat in this one. Okay, with Public Enemies on the over here with the Bruins and the Devils. 9 Legacy says Rangers puck line and under. Boston Bruins money line. JP Farley, Bruins money line. Robert Devils on the money line. He likes the over as well, but LALB likes the under. Robert says maybe just be a regulation draw right now. You get a closely rated game here. The one thing about New Jersey, they don't really have those. They 2 overtime losses this year. All right, I'm taking New Jersey in this one. Give me the Devils here as a favorite. Just a couple more, and that's it for the morning steam today. Like I said a short show, but it's still going to be here for 2 hours because I just can't stop talking to you guys. You guys are the closest thing to friends I've got. All right, here we go. Stars, $1.60. Is that really the price here in this one? No, it's even lower. No, it's probably $1.60 right now, but still. I mean, okay, so Utah, I get it. I mean, Utah's done a nice job this year. In fact, looks like they're going to make it to the postseason, but not if they keep losing. Utah's lost 4 straight right now. They're falling from that spot. They're 3 points clear of the wild card right now in that division. Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota are so far out in front that this is what the Mammoth have to do is try to hang on. But they are clear of Seattle and San Jose and LA, that group that I talked about. But they got to stop losing. And now they're going up against the hottest, I don't know, I think they're the hottest team in the league, aren't they, Dallas? Winners of 4 straight, but I know there's there's some winning streaks longer than that right now, I think, or are there? Let's see, Rangers have won 4 straight. Rangers have won 4 straight, and that's it, yeah. So a league high, 4 straight wins, but we know it goes well beyond that right now for Dallas. I mean, 4 straight doesn't mean anything for this team. Dallas has won 14 of their last 15, 10 of their last 11 at home. Utah just 2-12 in their last 14 against Dallas, although those 2 wins have come in the last 4 games. But still, Dallas always has dominated this franchise. That goes back a little bit to the Arizona days. Dallas is also, greatest, 42, 14-10. 22-7 at home, 33-17 as a favorite. Utah just 8-15 as an underdog. I think 160 is actually a gift right now. I think you got to, I don't try to give out. I mean, I go to the puck line sometimes just to do it so we don't give out. I want to pick winners here and still, be a YouTube capper, give out some plus money. But sometimes I just got to go with the under with the Stars in this one. At $1.06, I think how is it not $2 in this game right now? The way Dallas is going now, maybe here is Ottinger not in. Let me look at the goalie computer here and make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I saw any confirmation yet. Actually, okay, here they come. Markstrom likely here. That within the last 20 minutes. Also, Shesterkin likely within the last 20 minutes. Gibson likely from an hour ago. Nothing on this game, though, with Belmika and Ottinger, but I would think this is a matchup. So, it's tough. We got a 5-game card. I'm not going with Utah at all. No puck line, no nothing. I'm on Dallas on the money line, and I'll double it up 2 units here. Probably go strong, I think, with Dallas today. I think I'd have to do that, actually. Give me Dallas here, and I'm saving the total in this one. I will say about the total, though. Let me cover it a little bit. I will say this about Utah from the perspective of, Dallas is still a very bad puck line favorite. There's no doubt. 14-36, one of the worst puck line records in the league. They play a lot of 1-goal games. 14-36 puck line favorite. And Utah 13-10 as a puck line dog, though. That's okay. That's okay. But let's see here, head to head. Like I said, they already played this year. Utah won at home 2-1. Dallas won at Utah 3-2. Dallas also won at home 4-3. So we'll wrap up the series between these two tonight. And Utah actually, like I said, they also won one last year at Dallas. So Utah has won 2 of the last 4, but also they've won 2 of the last 12. And before that was a 10-game losing streak to Dallas. So I'm just going to take Dallas at this big price. I don't, we can't fool around here with a card like this. Just got to take it. Okay, here we go. Oh, I was going to talk about the total here a little bit anyway. There's not a lot of trending here with these guys, but the move itself, you look at this, it's up to 6 under 20 at some books, and it was definitely 5.5. There's definitely been a move to the over in this game. The trends, I don't think, say much about the over with these two, other than the fact that Utah as an underdog lately has pulled off a few overs here. They went over in the 4-3 loss to Pittsburgh there, but other than that, they've actually had, let's see here, 2-3 to the over in the last 5, 15-20 to the over on the road, 12-11 to the over as a dog. Dallas 15-18 to the under at home. I think I said, did I get it right? Utah 15-20 to the under on the road. I hope I said that right. Also, Utah under in 6 of their last 8 and 4 of their last 5 on the road. 6 of the last 8 meetings have gone under. Dallas, though, has gone over in 5 of their last 7 games. They went under last game against Detroit. Okay, with the Devils money line for Jordy. 9 Legacy does like the Mammoth here. JP Farley, Dallas money line. Stars run puck line for Public Enemy. I'm saying run line like it takes me 3 weeks to get when the baseball ends and the hockey begins, and vice versa. And I can't get it right. 4-2 Stars, says Robert. That might be an exact scoreline prediction there. Stars LALB, and Jermaine says University of Pennsylvania. Jermaine, were you here when I told the story about Coach Jones there and his son playing for Penn? And what I did say, though, was I can't believe I bet on Fran McCaffrey. But you know what? I don't like him. I didn't like him. You know what? I almost like him here at Penn. I think you put him in his alma mater. Has he calmed down a little bit now that he's coaching at Penn, right? Did it change him a little bit? Is he going to be on better behavior there than previous stops? But you got to, what did they say? Is that his 4th team that he's taking to the NCAA tournament? You could talk shit about Fran McCaffrey, but that's pretty good. Mammoth here for LALV. Dallas in regulation here. And also here, let's see here. I'm taking he's saying Ramon taking a shot with the Kings there first period, -1.5, +180. Kings came out flat in the first period. Thank you, Poppy. I said Ramon's taking a shot with the Kings first period. I wasn't, but I will now. All right, 9 Legacy Avalanche on. He's ready to go the next game. Never mind, 9 Legacy. So let's do it. Yeah, but God, I mean, I hate when he goes all Franny on him. Jermaine, he goes all Fran on the officials. Maybe he just looks so whiny. I don't know. Yeah, we know he said some dumb. All right, here we go. But how about I told the story about Coach Jones there of Yale, and his son plays for Penn, and his son, and his dad plays as coach of BU. What an interesting game that was to see him on the side in the crowd there. Penguins and Avalanche in this one. We've got Penguins here. Big dog here to the Avalanche. I get it. Is it 230 actually? Hey, the Grand Salami's out right now. It's 30.5. 30.5 shaded to the under. Grand Salami coming out here right now. I didn't take any totals here. How can I bet on the Grand Salami with you guys? I have all sides here. All right, maybe I'll take a total in this one. Let's see. I might not, because look, the Avalanche. They're not to be trusted, are they right now? I mean, they might win. They could win. They could easily win this game. I mean, they're the Avalanche after all. They smash teams here, but this thing's up to 230 at some of these square books right now. DK up to 230. I don't trust the Colorado. Don't get me wrong; they've been a good puck line favorite this year. 33-31 is a puck line favorite for Colorado. That'll make you a few dollars, especially when you're Colorado. You're always going to be getting that plus money there with Colorado. And I will mention, though, Pittsburgh is a puck line dog, about as good as they come. 29-8 as a puck line underdog. Wow. I mean, what do we got there? I mean, that's like over 70%, isn't it? So I think that's probably the best puck line dog record here. So why wouldn't Pittsburgh at plus 1.5 and come in here? I would think I got to play Pittsburgh here in this one on the puck line. But like I said, I'm going to look at the total too. Got to look at the total here, and gonna have to make up for my bad Chinese basketball bets. I want to send out some premiums, but seems going to be man. Okay, let me go to it here though. NHL. I want to look at this puck line here possibly today with the Pittsburgh Penguins at plus 1.5 minus $1.30. That might be okay. Pittsburgh is coming in off a win on the road here over Utah, 4-3. They did get blown out by Vegas. They also lost at Carolina to start this trip. Colorado, though, just lost to Winnipeg on the road. They did beat Seattle on the road 5-1. More of those puck line wins, but still for Colorado here, 23-5 at home, 44-20 is a favorite. Pittsburgh just 17-20 is an underdog. That's not awful. These two teams did not play their. This is their first meeting. They're going to play again, I think. Actually, and let me look at some trends here. Pittsburgh's gone just 2-5 in their last 7, 1-4, straight up in their last 5 on the road. Colorado's won 6 of 8, 13-7 in their last 20 at home, which is interesting, right? Considering that they have just 5 regulation losses overall there, I think. But yeah, they've been in some ties. They've been in some overtimes and shootouts. Colorado 5-2 straight up their last 7 against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's gone over in 5 straight. Right now, they are slightly an over team this year, but Colorado is 23-35 to the under as a favorite. This one seems a little bit dicey here. I think I'm gonna go to the chat and see what you guys think before I make I'm on Pittsburgh puck line. Don't screw around here. I'm not taking a total on the show. That might be a first right now, but I guess that's just the nature of the card. And you know what? I'm kind of a total specialist. I'm going to have a premium or two somewhere. It's going to be a total. All right. Avalanche on the puck line here for 9 Legacy. And Jermaine said Penn was going to make the tournament. I think that's what he's saying there. Farley's on the over. Justin says Penguins over tonight. How about, okay, Justin, I'm looking for that total. By the way, the total is a start, 6.5 over 20, I think. What do I have there listed? Yeah, yep. Avs money line, Stars money line parlay for LALB. Roberts on the over. You guys, the morning steam's almost over here for a Monday. LALB Pens, puck line, Mammoth puck line, and Public Enemy might make the last call of the day here. All right, gang. Well, guess that's going to do it for the morning steam, you guys. Thanks a lot. I forgot to run the drawing. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Maybe because, I kind of slept in here today with the light card. Man, I finished my work early and said, wow, could I actually get some sleep here in the morning? Look, my sheet. I always come. This is what I got. This is what I got. My little sheet here. This is all I got today. So I looked at soccer earlier, later maybe here as well. Use a free 1 week because I forgot to do the drawing. Anybody who has not subscribed to me over at winnable.com, use the promo code LIVE to get 1 free week. If Ramon forgets the drawing, everyone cashes. Almost sounds like I did on purpose. I don't, because I like to do the drawing. But let me at least go over to winnable.com. See if I know we had some winners yesterday at least. So let's get some people involved over there. Let's get you subscribed. Let's get you signed up. Use that promo code there. Also, let's go to the picks here a little bit and see how I have been doing over at winnable.com yesterday. We'll see what we did there. Some of these, the AI didn't catch it. Vancouver over Minnesota. Yeah, I think Vancouver won. Was it 6-0? Wasn't it? Or was it 6-2? Whatever it was. Vancouver smashed Minnesota for our VIP selection there yesterday. I know this one lost. Osasuna and Real Sociedad was 3-1. Syria. Oh man, I lost that one too. Don't show the losers. Hey, college baseball, we did pick up a few W's there along the way. In North Carolina rocked. A&M got beat by 1. Michigan couldn't get it done. Florida State did beat Wake Forest there. NHL Premium there. Oh man, there's my NASCAR. Didn't cash there, but there were the picks anyway. Did we have any winners here? There's that Cover the Spread show. Check me out over there at Cover the Spread. Going to give you some more picks there every day. Did we have any? There's that Medvedev winner. All right, I knew I had a winner in there somewhere. Medvedev +4 over Sinner. And yeah, please check out that Cover the Spread. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cover the Spread for Sunday, March the 15th. We got another full day of action ahead with some NBA games. So you're going to get some picks over there you don't get over here with me. So go to coverthespread.com and watch it. Or if you're on the Winnable free stream, I send it out over there when I remember to do so. There. So anyways, use the promo code LIVE today to get a free subscription if you haven't signed up at winnable.com for 7 days. Now, disclaimer, cancel at any time. You will be charged after the 7-day trial period is up. But, I mean, come on. It's only a few bucks over there at winnable.com. They're $17.10 a month when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout and save 20%. Okay? So please do that. That's how you support me here on the channel. Let Mikey know that you like me here on his channel and keep me here for another year through baseball season, right? That's what we need. All right, I guess that's going to do it for the morning steam. We'll be back tomorrow for morning. And we'll, don't forget, I mean, yes, the NCAA tournament has a big 4 there, the first 4 over the next 2 days. There are those first 4 games, but don't forget tomorrow. Not only is there the first 4, but NIT gets underway. There's already, I believe, 8 games scheduled for the not in tournament here, and we're going to be desperate for tournament games with those other tournaments not really going there this year because like I said. Teams like San Diego State, look, I said they'd win the NIT if they were in it, but you know what? They're getting, here's the thing. This is the criteria for a lot of these teams that do not whole straight across, but usually teams that go to the NIT are teams that feel like they are growing or rebuilding or improving. San Diego State, they've got one goal, and that's to make the NCAA tournament. They don't think they need to go to an NIT where, quite frankly, some of the schools lose money when they go to those other tournaments. That's why those other tournaments aren't getting it done. Remember, those are tournaments are, you have to pay to get in those tournaments, really, for the most part. So, we're losing those tournaments. It's kind of like the bowl games. That's where it's headed. I mean, that's why we're in this situation with not enough teams that want to play. Back in the day, you'd never do that. In fact, the NCAA had such control. They said, you better play the NIT or we'll, do this or do that. So thanks a lot, everybody. There's Terrell. He's got his NCAA upsets there. I'm going to be looking for some sports today. Probably get those soccer games out. There's not a lot else going on. No one college baseball game. So thank you, everybody, and hope you enjoyed the morning steam. We'll be back tomorrow for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long from And home of the NBA, Las Vegas.
It's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. Ramon Scott. Sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.